Hello, everyone. It's me, Warren, again, Buildings from the Ground Up, and this is episode 2. I want to just take a moment to thank you for those who are joining this episode and joining my channel, Building from the Ground Up, for the first time. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe by the end of this video, or just give me a thumbs up. Better yet, you could give me just 2 thumbs up. So, in today's episode, I wanted to talk to you about how you can go from janitor or custodian or cleaner to director of facilities or even higher, as I said in my last episode, in my introductory episode. So, there were 3 critically important things that I wanted to share with you. Like I said, it's not rocket science. Okay, it just takes a little bit of planning, some vision, and some hard work and some discipline. And if your heart desires, you can do better by your family and by yourself by pursuing a career in buildings. Here at Buildings from the Ground Up, again, we decided to create this channel so that I could give back to the buildings and grounds and maintenance community. I just retired again with over 30 years of building management and maintenance experience. My last position was director of facilities for a local school district. And so I have a whole host of information that I'd like to be able to share with you. I will actually post my email so you can reach me via email if you're interested in. But of course, again, just don't forget to subscribe. So, when it comes to going from cleaner or maintenance worker like I was, or janitorial or custodial, there are 3 things that I wanted to share with you. Now, remember, everybody's story is different, so my path is not going to be your path. But if you follow these 3 suggestions, I think you should be well on your way to becoming director of facilities, a building manager, building superintendent, like I held the title for the state for almost 14 years. Actually, it was 14 years before I left to go to the school district. So, the first thing I wanted to discuss with you is certifications. Okay, certifications is critically important for you. In pursuing your goals, because you want to have certifications behind your title or behind the title that you are pursuing. So, for example, if you have a resume and you put down on that resume that you are performing maintenance tasks, boiler work, cleaning work, that kind of thing, um, when you're interviewing, they don't know how good you are, right? So you can always give references, not up front. Wait till they ask for a reference. That always worked for me. I wouldn't put references on my resume, but you need to put your certifications on that resume. So if I was going to call your reference, I wouldn't ask them how good you were at cleaning floors or how good you were at repairing boilers or painting a wall or carpentry work. I'd be asking about your character primarily, right? Does he show up to work on time? Is he reliable? Will he be there when I need him for an emergency? That kind of thing. I'm not going to be asking about your certification. So, the only way to prove that you are good at some of the things you do, and I'm sure you are already doing the work already. So, for example, if you're repairing boilers, let's say, like I used to, do at one point during my career. The only way they would know if I was good at that boiler work, or at least if I was qualified to do that work, I would actually have to have that on my resume through some sort of certification. Okay, so certification is critically important for that reason because you need to show that. And the second thing I wanted to discuss with you about resume building is critically important that you build a reliable resume where people could actually check your credentials. So that's going to be critically. as I was saying, another thing that's critically important about your resume is that your credentials have to be verified. So just be sure you build a nice resume. There are several free resume building resources out there for you. I believe Indeed has one out there. There's one called Resume Genius, and there's another one called My Perfect Resume. Now, fortunately for me, I didn't have to use any of those resources, but they are there and available to you. So if you're new at building resumes and putting an impressive resume together, then you need to use one of those free resources. But again, it's critically important that you get as many certifications under your belt as possible. Now, I was fortunate enough to find several different maintenance programs offered through New York City Housing Preservation and Development. I was a 7A administrator at one time. So there are actually free resources for certifications for you as well. There are actually some grants being offered. So if you go to nyc.gov, you will find a whole plethora, there's that word again, my favorite word, plethora of information and resources available to you to help you get those certifications under your belt. Now, I have 3 different degrees and a whole host of certifications. So, again, my path is not yours. I know plenty of directors for different school districts that do not have of postgraduate or undergraduate degrees. Okay, they just come up through the ranks, they get the certifications, they prove themselves, they prove them skills, they work hard, and that's where they are on the same level as me. Okay, critically important. It's also vitally important that you understand what you are doing, okay, when you're repairing that boiler. What techniques are you using when you're cleaning that floor? Why this is important? Because you need to be able to explain that to someone, okay? Like I used to tell my son, if you could explain that math to me, then you understand truly what you were doing. Same thing with building maintenance. Okay, if you're repairing that boiler, what steps are you taking to repair that boiler? When you're cleaning that floor, what steps are you taking to clean that floor? Okay, what's the proper cleaning technique for cleaning a school classroom or an office building? You know, you have to start up high and work your way down low. So many people cannot explain that technique to me. What I used to do is when I used to hold interviews and I'd look at a candidate's resume and they told me they worked on, you know, electric and plumbing. I'd ask a simple question: what's the voltage of that outlet that you were working on? And you would be surprised how many people could not even ask a simple question like that. Or I'd ask the cleaner, what chemicals are you using? How would you use those chemicals? How long would it take you to clean this classroom or this bathroom? And how would you go about doing it? Okay. If you're a maintenance worker and you're or a head custodian and you're working on, you know, boilers, you have supervisory responsibility of your HVAC systems in that building, your chillers, your rooftop units. You know, you have to know how many tons are your chillers. Okay, how many BTUs, British thermal units, are your boilers that you are working on? These are vitally important questions, and that you need to pursue if you're going to progress your career towards director of facilities or some sort of building manager. And lastly, you have to network. Okay, it's vitally important that you know people, get to know people, you know, volunteer, to take on difficult assignments. That's how you get to know the people in charge. You get to know the administrators and the superintendents and the board of directors. Volunteer, network. You don't have to tell people what your plans are all the time, But if the opportunity presents itself, yes, share the fact that you are going back to school or that you're in classes, getting certain certifications to progress and move forward in your career. So that's vitally important as well. So I think that would just about wrap it up for this episode. I have another episode coming up as director of facilities. When I interviewed for the position, I always interviewed against architects and engineers, and I'm going to show you and I'm going to share with you what advantages that a director of facilities that have come up in the ranks has over all those guys, architects and engineers. Believe me, you have a specific advantage. And so thank you for your time. Again, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. Share your thoughts via email. It should be somewhere in there. I'll make sure it's included so you can reach out to me and I will respond to you. And also give me 2 thumbs up if you like. Again, the name is Warren, Buildings from the Ground Up. And thanks again. So long.